Ladies and gentlemen, are you looking for RTX 5070 level of performance for half of the price?
Nope.
Well, Hank is, and he just scored the deal of a lifetime on this Founders Edition RTX 3080 Ti for 250 United States hamburgers. He got it off a Facebook Marketplace from a nice gentleman who just jumped ship to AMD. Thanks for that, mate. You are a legend. This absolutely beauty of a card is over 4 years old, comes jammed with 12 gigabytes of VRAM, and had a disgusting MSRP of $1,199 US buccarinos back in the day.
You cannot be serious!
These days, you can usually get them for around 300 to 400 bucks, although Facebook Marketplace had this limited edition gigabyte graffiti court for $350, so maybe we should have got that instead.
Bruh.
But that isn't the only thing of value Hank is bringing you today. No. We are throwing this thing in an epic infinity-laced AM5 masterpiece with a total build price of just over $700 to show you why going with a 4-year-old secondhand GPU and used parts on the PC may be the way to go when building or flipping a PC in 2025. Let's get to it, baby. Introducing the parts, and I'm going to sound like a broken record, but Micro Center Open Box has come through again, starting with this motherboard. Literally brand new condition other than this giant hole in the front of it. We got it for a mouth-watering 111 bucks. It's this white ROG Strix B650A gaming Wi-Fi board. We've used this board a few times and we love it, baby. Truly a work of art. It comes with 3 M.2s, great VRMs, USB-C, ARGB on the top left of the board, and a great rear I.O. with 7 USB-A and 2 USB Type-C ports and Wi-Fi 6, mate. What a bargain.
Goddamn right.
And speaking of bargain, we are pairing this baby with the best price to performance CPU on the market, bar none. The Ryzen 5 9600X open box from Micro Center for 143 US turkey and ham sandwiches.
That's what I'm talking about.
6 cores, 12 threads. This thing could be paired with an RTX 5090 and hold its own. Brand new, this baby is usually around 170 bucks, which still isn't bad, but keep an eye out for Black Friday, mate, as the last holiday sale had this thing going for under $150 on Amazon and Micro Center. For the RAM, we are going with this DDR5 32GB kit clocked at 6,000 mega transfers per second from Team Group, baby. CL32 timing, so not quite the CL30 timings that the sweaty PC elitists want in their builds, but this thing will still push speeds faster than the Millennium Falcon, plus it'll be spitting out rainbow ARGB puke on the top, which will easily add 10 FPS to the build. Now come push it in, Hank, you long ass slinker.
What?
Good job, buddy. The M.2, you know what it is. Kingston 1TB, Gen 4, 6,000 megabytes per second for an insane $44 open box off Amazon. We use this every single build because we got like 10 of these during this open box sale, so get used to seeing them on here. If you can find another drive that's about 50 to 60 bucks brand new that's over 5,000 megabytes per second, just go with that, mate, and you'll be golden. And to finish things off, the crescendo, baby. Thanks to the efficiency of the 9600X, we are able to go with good old reliable air cooling. We are so back. ID Cooling 214 XT, usually between 16 to 20 bucks on Amazon. It doesn't get any better than that, mate. We've got the mounting brackets installed, but also have a full guide on how to install them linked below if you want to see that. For God's sake, remove this protective sticker or Oscar Piastri will stall at the start of the race, then throw his McLaren into the fence on the very first turn and put his whole championship in jeopardy. Oh, wait a second. He did do that, mate. Never mind. I'm throwing the sticker back on. Time for the thermal paste. We had this MX4 paste lying around, so we are going with that, but the cooler should come with its own paste, so don't waste your money. But once we will be responsible and throw a little X marks the spot on rather than 400 kilograms of it. And look at that, mate. She's looking sexy. Throw the cooler onto the mounting brackets and screw it down little by little each side until it's on nice and tight, and Bob's your uncle, mate. Hold up a second. No, he's not. We need to install some fans, mate, and it has been a month since we've built with the one and only Infinity fans. Usually these coolers just require one front-facing fan, but mate, we are an Infinity fiend, so we are throwing on 2. Just make sure the back fan is reverse blade so it brings air through the fin stack, and Ariana Grande is your long-lost uncle.
What?
You are good to go. All right, mate, the whole gang is here. We've got Frank, Pepe the Frog.
What the hell is even that?
This 8-foot-long snake we won at the fair. Our completed ROG Strix motherboard with 32 gigabytes of RAM and the 9600X along with 2 Infinity fans on the air cooler.
Nice.
The RTX 3080 Ti Founders Edition.
Damn, boy, he's thick!
And hold up a second, where is Hank the cheeky bugger?
Bruh.
There he is. About time, mate. Stop slacking off. And actually, sorry to do this to you, buddy, but get the hell out of the way. We got to introduce one of the better value cases out there on the market right now. All the way over on Newegg, mate, the DIY PC N5 white case that comes with 3 Infinity fans for 64 US hot dogs. Unbelievable value, mate. It's a beautiful fish tank design, has all this ventilation down the bottom, 2 USB 3s and a USB-C on the front I/O. It also has an LED switch which connects to an ARGB fan hub that can cycle through 1 million different ARGB combinations. And it is great to build, and it has all this room down the bottom to throw our power supply in. And as always, we are going with the Apevia Prestige 800 watt 80 plus gold. Yes, I know we literally use this every episode. Mate, it is tier C on the PSU tiers list for 66 bucks on Amazon. Unless you can find me an alternative solution for a similar price, we are going to go with it every time. The value is just too good. Now that we've installed the power supply, yeet the motherboard in like you're Nikola Jokic chucking a shot up with 1 second left on the shot clock, then start screwing that baby in like it's going out of fashion. And now back due to popular demand, and by popular I mean one dude commented on it previously in our last video. It's time for wiring with Weenie Man. As per usual for the 24-pin connector, we are using cable extensions. These babies are from Okinos. We got them at the time for 16 bucks, but the price fluctuates between $16 to $20. The link is down below and they plug in on the right side of the motherboard. Right underneath this is the USB-C connector. Very easy to plug in and should make a beautiful clicking sound once it's in. And then after that is the dreaded USB 3 connector. You need the might of Ronda Rousey to throw this thing in, but for the love of God, make sure the pins are lined up with the holes in the connector, otherwise they will get bent and say goodnight to your front I/O USB 3s, mate. Moving on down to the bottom right corner of the board, and we have our F panel. Sometimes you get lucky enough and the case comes with it fully attached together in one connector, but DIY PC hates us, mate, and it comes in this mess. There will be a legend underneath the F panel to tell you how to install each connector. Usually it's plus minus your power LED followed by the power switch on the top. Throw it in and move on over to the far left to the most hated of all connectors, the HD audio. Yeah. Super easy to plug in. I just hate it for some reason. Don't ask me why, mate. And with that, the motherboard is wired up and you are good to go. So here she is, mate, our beautiful PC case with Frank sitting inside and the motherboard and PSU installed. And she is looking emptier than my soul after my longtime girlfriend Raquisha left me for my high school best friend Philbert. And mate, 5 Infinity fans installed? You can't be serious. That would be a new low for us. So a quick snap of the fingers and boom, baby, body slam. And my magic instructor Tobias would be so proud right now. Another 6 Infinity fans thrown into this thing, $5 a fan. The link is down below. And when we turn this thing on, we are definitely going to have an Infinity-induced epileptic fit due to the 11 Infinity fans, but it'll be so worth it, mate. Time to finish this build off with the one and only RTX 3080 Ti. Hank loves these Founders Edition cards. They are a timeless classic, but can get a bit hot and heavy under the hood, but mate, Hank is the hottest hot dog in the world, so he can handle it. Throw it in one-handed into the top PCIe slot with the power of Xerxes, King of Persia from the 300 movie.
I am a surgeon!
And that is too easy, mate. What do you have to say about this, Glizzy?
I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
The guy selling this bad boy lost the adapter, which is fine. We just ordered this white one off Amazon for under 10 bucks. It plugs into 2 8-pin PCIe power connectors off your power supply, and just like that, it's time to turn this monolithic structure on, and I cannot wait. Sheilas and fellas, here we are. Hank is excited for this one. It has been 1 month since he has built with Infinity fans, so he literally has the shakes. But mate, give me 2 firm handshakes before we turn this thing on, please.
Okay. Other hand. Other hand.
Thank you, buddy. And OMG, look at this thing, mate. I've forgotten how good Infinity-laced white PCs look, and this thing is up there with the Mona Lisa. 10-year-olds everywhere are currently going wild over the ARGB puke beamed out of these Infinity fans, and even the 3080 Ti is getting in on the action with its all-white ARGB logo. What a time to be alive. Changing the ARGB using the LED button at the top to match the Team Green Lean Mean Fighting Machine theme, and I might have to change my pants after this, mate. It's looking and phenomenal. But taking things to another level and syncing up the white ARGB of the GPU with the fans, mate, the Pope would hail this as his new Lord and Savior. We are in love. But if you think the aesthetics of this thing are great, wait until you see the price. All up, this thing was 771 buccarinos total, mate. For an AM5 PC where the 3080 Ti has the same raw performance as a 5070, that is unreal. Now, obviously, you can't use DLSS 4 on this bad boy, but mate, I ain't paying double the price to get crappy upscaling. I'd rather raw dog it with this beast of a GPU. We obviously got super lucky on the price of this graphics card, but most of the cards on eBay are around 400 bucks, so you can still build this thing for closer to 900, which ain't bad either. Looking at the prices of similar PCs on Jawa.gg that have 3080 Ti's, most of them are up there for 1300 bucks, so if we can realistically sell this thing for $1,100 on Facebook Marketplace for a quicker sale, we are looking at over $300 of profit, which I would take any day of the week, but I will update you on the sale of these and other PCs in a future video. So with that, there is only one thing left to do, and it's benchmarks, baby. So as Triple H says, it's time to play the game. Let's go do this and see if it's worth building this PC or if we need to throw it into the garbage. Sheilas and fellas, it's time to benchmark this $1,200 4-year-old GPU that we got for a mouth-watering 250 bucks on Facebook Marketplace. We are going straight 1440p on this naughty girl, and what is the closest thing to a weenie man? Well, how about a squirrel girl, mate? Marvel Rivals, high setting with DLSS set to quality, and can I interest you in just over 110 frames per second? I think that I can. The game looked great, smoother than a baby's behind, and more importantly, I think Hank has found his new favorite Marvel Rivals character because he was going ham. A 20-player elimination streak. Are you kidding me, Glizzy? We got the win with 25 eliminations and was only eliminated once in the most damage, but lost the MVP to Loki, mate. Eat Hank's balls. We hate you. Speaking of going off, though, we just got this email, and my oh my, an ace on Rainbow Six Siege? What? Surely you couldn't do that on a 4-year-old GPU. Well, hold Hank's beer, mate. 4K graphics with DLSS set to quality, and we are locked in at just over 200 frames per second, and just sit back and enjoy this ace, mate.
Have a look. Swapping mags!
Incredible stuff. We lose this game even though Hank finishes with 8 eliminations and 4 assists. He is LeBron on the 2007 Cavs, mate. No help whatsoever. Alright, enough bragging. Can this 4-year-old GPU run a 10-year-old classic? GTA 5 Enhanced Edition, 4K with everything set to very high ray tracing, and it runs great. Depending upon where you are in the map, it ran around 65 to 85 frames per second, and it is amazing how good this looks. I do want to try this game with the graphics and car mods on one day, or maybe I should just go outside and touch grass once in a while. What is wrong with me and the glizzy? Let's move back to some harder to play games. Black Myth Wukong, harder to run than your mother after a trip to Applebee's, but 1440p, everything set to very high graphics, but no ray tracing because we were too chicken to turn it on. But how about an average of 6-7 frames per second? 6-7. And I am not saying that because of the meme, mate. This is how it came out. I didn't run this 50 times until it said 6-7. Please believe me. Next up, all aboard Weenie Airlines, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. This game is a nightmare to run for most cards, but for 250 bucks, we set this to 1440p medium settings with DLSS set to quality, and it doesn't do too bad at all. It averages about 44 frames per second. You can see the occasional stutter, which is normal for this game, unfortunately. Honestly, though, if you are going to play Microsoft Flight Sim, I'd recommend a newer GPU. This game isn't just hard on your card, mate, but it's also hard on your wallet as well. Speaking of simulation, mate, what about the game everyone keeps asking me to test, Waterpark Simulator? Everything's set balls to the wall and at 4K, and we are locked and loaded at 120 frames per second. One of the hardest games of all time to run and costs over 200 bucks on Steam. We are playing it on our gaming channel. Go check it out or Hank is gonna hate you. Moving on to F1 25. Oscar Piastri may be choking in real life, but we can at least help him win virtually. 1440p graphics, everything set to high, ray tracing on but path tracing off, and DLSS set to quality. And mate, she runs well, an average of once again again, 6-7 frames per second. What is actually wrong with me? Hank makes easy work of Charles Leclerc and his dumb wiener dog Leo and takes Oscar to victory. What a great day, mate. Thanks for doing this, Hank, because Oscar sucks in real life right now. Onto an easier to run game, but much harder to actually race in, iRacing, baby. We are in B-Class GT3 at Road America in the Ferrari, and people are crashing during the warm-up lap, mate. I know this is going to go terribly. We start the race off nice and clean at a very smooth 137 frames per second with graphics set to 1440p high and DLSS set to quality. Things were going fine until old mate crashed in front of us and his dumb Porsche and ruined the race for us. But mate, that's iRacing for ya. We were racing this on our race sim that we built in a previous video. Go check it out if you're into sim racing. We tried to keep going, but we had damage and just ended up going straight into the fence. My life is over, mate. We suck so bad at iRacing now. Okay, Weenie Man, no one wants to see your wiener race his little cars. Throw on something more popular. Fine, here is Cyberpunk, but we ain't playing this on your little sister's 1080p low settings, mate. We're about high fidelity graphics here, 1440p with graphics set to high ray tracing, and we are getting smack bang on 60 frames per second and incredibly smooth on a 4-year-old $250 GPU that we got off Facebook Marketplace. Mate, I am running out of breath right now, but what else could you possibly need? This is paradise. Throwing on another AAA game that is hard to run, Doom the Dark Ages, set to 1440p ultra graphics with ray tracing on but path tracing off, and mate, not bad for a 4-year-old GPU, just over 90 frames per second. And I should mention, these Founders Edition cards from the 30 series are known to run a bit toasty, 77 degrees on the GPU after playing with this for about 3 hours, but the 9600X with the air cooler is managing 72 degrees averages. If we run it in firm market, it sticks to around 80, so we will definitely take those temperatures for a $16 cooler. What about Call of Duty Warzone Resurgence, mate? Black Ops 7 and Battlefield will be out soon, so we will throw them into the benchmarks, but right now we have this thing set to 1440p ultra with DLSS set to quality, and the 3080 Ti eats this for breakfast, well over 120 frames per second, smoother than a bald eagle, but Hank keeps running into the same camper over and over, mate. Go touch some grass, you loser. We aren't a loser though. Hank is actually cool playing this game. That dude is the loser, right?
Nope.
Right?
Oh, hell no!
Anyway, moving on to the finals. This is Hank's favorite game right now. He loves playing it, and it runs well on most cards, thankfully, but 1440p with epic settings and DLSS set to quality, and we are getting an average of just over 120 frames per second, so we are loving it. But more importantly, Hank is taking souls in this game. He is well and truly on one right now. Not only does he finish the game with 18 eliminations and 13k damage playing as the manlet with the pistol, but he also clutches up, stealing the cash out at the end with little time remaining on the clock and finishing with an epic victory, beating out a bunch of sweats with their RTX 5090s, mate. This 3080 Ti has unleashed something dark inside of Hank. He is keeping this computer and throwing his 5090 in the garbage, mate. We are loving this. After that epic performance, it comes down to the very last game, and I know you 10-year-olds are going wild right now. That's right, Fortnite with the Hank Hill skin. Hank found very great success in this when we were placed in bot lobbies, but we have just been thrown in with the sweats recently. Can we finally get a win after a miserable few weeks on this game? 1440p DirectX 12 performance mode setting, so everything low but epic view distance, and so far so good. Hank is clapping some fat booty cheeks. We get down to the final 3 contestants and we have 13 eliminations and we smash this dude from behind. What? Pause. But unfortunately, some sweaty virgin has the high ground. We are low on health, and the storm is coming in. Hank tries his best, but gets put into the dirt, and this fella in a wizard skin emotes on us. How has mine and Hank's life actually come to this? We need to stop building PCs and go read a book. So with the benchmarks done and dusted, should you buy this card for 250 bucks? Yes, you should, mate. It is great. Don't question it. Just go out and buy it if you can find it. My limit on buying this card would be 300 bucks. Anything above that, just go get the 9060 XT or the 5060 Ti. There are some mega deals on them at the moment, and you can use DLSS 4. Now get out of here, mate. Me and the weenie love ya. Goodbye.